Okie dokie, now we can actually start getting into learning Python properly. So a little while ago, what we did, we had this thing called a print statement or a print function. And we said, hello world, hit shift enter, and it says hello world. And that is essentially all it takes to run a Python program. But there are these things called variables. And what I'm going to do is just delete that. And a variable is really just a way to assign some sort of name to have some sort of value. So let's not do name, let's do course. That's a variable name is equal to, and we see just one equal sign. Maybe I can make that a bit bigger here. Course is equal to, and then we have different variable types, data types, but we're going to keep this simple for now. So let's use a quotation. So we've got an opening and closing quotation mark there. Not course, let's do Python for everybody. Hit shift enter. And it looks like nothing happened. But if we type course and then do shift enter, our interactive shell here will tell us that it is a value of Python for everybody. And now what you can do is print your course name, Python for everybody. Now the difference here is print will actually print this out, whereas just because we're in an interactive shell here, this is sort of displaying it for us. In terms of which one you should use, currently, when you're using Jupyter Notebook, you can use either one. It doesn't really matter. But in a Python program, when you're actually creating a .py file, you'll want to use the print statement because that will actually display text in your terminal or in your command line program. So what I would like you to do is create a new Jupyter Notebook or open up your Python shell on your command line, type in course is equal to Python for everybody, and then type in course and then print course, and that's it. At that point in time, you have already assigned a variable. Now, the nice thing about a variable is you can reassign it. So we can say initially course is equal to Python for everybody, but we could also say if we wanted to change that value, we could say the course is now going to, for some reason, transform into JavaScript for everybody. And if I hit course enter, print course, shift enter, you can actually see, if I scroll up here, course was originally Python for everybody. We printed it. We know that that's exactly what it is. And then we changed it to JavaScript for everybody, printed that. And we now know that course is now JavaScript for everybody. So anytime we access it down the road, it's always going to be JavaScript for everybody. So we set the value Python for everybody, and then we overrode it. Now that's basically how variables work. It's just a name that points to something. And that's actually the key behind a variable. What a lot of courses won't tell you is how a variable works behind the scenes. So a variable is just a name. Python, behind the scenes, does not care what this is called. It could be called literally anything. There are some rules. It should not start with a number, for instance. Should not start with special characters. Just give it a normal name with just regular letters and maybe underscores, and if you want, uppercase letters. So something like that. As long as it's just a regular text name, Python doesn't care what it's called. Then we use an equal sign, and what this says is, hey, Python, please give me a little piece of memory from the computer. So a little piece of that RAM that's going on, or some processing power, however memory is allocated on the particular computer. I just need, let's say, 128 bytes of memory. And wherever that is, I don't really care where it is, just give me 128 bytes of memory. And then I'm just going to use a code name, course, to access this 128 bytes of memory. Now at this point in time, that 128 bytes of memory, inside of it, says Python for everybody. And so really what we're doing is we're taking this text and we're jamming it into some sort of memory inside of your computer. And so when this script runs, Python says, oh, okay, there's a name called course. I know that's a sort of a code name for this piece of memory that's, I don't know, way over here. And the user never needs to know about it. But I know that it has a code name of course, and inside of it, it says Python for everybody. So whenever the user types course, I know that it's supposed to be Python for everybody. So really all it is you've got, let's say, a code name, aka a variable name, is equal to, and this will actually assign a piece of memory to this variable for you, and then anything you want in here. And I'm actually going to undo that because I don't need that. But then let's say down the road, I overwrite that variable, which we did. Now Python's going to say, okay, well, this has the same variable name. It's already allocated to Python for everybody, but what do I do about it? I mean, it already has some data here, so what do I do? And behind the scenes, Python is going to say, this already exists, you know what? Throw it out, delete it, get rid of it, get out of here. And I'm going to create a new variable with a code name, of course, so it's just going to be the exact same code name, but it's going to point to a different memory location. That's how a variable works behind the scenes. Now, that's a little important to understand down the road. You don't need to know about it too much right now, but just tuck that in your back pocket because we're going to reference this a little bit later in this course. For now, setting a variable is super easy. You say the variable name is equal to, and then whatever the value is going to be. Make sure you have quotations in there because that is a particular data type that allows you to use spaces and characters like python. So go ahead, give this a shot, create a variable, and then print that variable out. Once you have done that, I think we are ready to move on to the next lesson.